the favorite in this matchup. And I don't blame you guys. You know, I'm just vibe master, and my vibes and my mouth got me leaning over here towards Oxygen, okay? We'll see if I'm right or not, but it's going to be an exciting series nonetheless. Map number 1, Regency on Control. Colin, this is going to be a fun one now. You know, I know everybody in our chat, for the most part, they're experts when it comes down to strategy. They're experts when it comes down to these players' play style, because we know the chat is the smartest people out there in the whole wide world. But if Oxygen wants a chance up against this hot Rise squad, who is probably our best control team out there, what does Oxygen need to do to get the leg up?
Oxygen has to play very aggressive against some of those early players like DeToX and Avexys. They've got to keep those players down. You can't let them get revved up like a diesel engine. DeToX, good little dodge there early to that flash grenade. Now playing back against it. We go to the bottom Rose Garden here. 2 players mounted up on the right side. Beautiful job in the middle of the map, though, by Pushyz, winning a 1v1 against Avexys. So Avexys dying in the middle of the map. No grenades, no secondary push and pull down toward the Rose Garden. DeToX has won the M bar officially. I really do believe that this is a good start for Oxygen. But Rise, they're going to over-rotate to the right side, try to take the respawn section for that next hill. They need a kill or 2, maybe a quick pick, and they have a chance to break back into this and stop a overwhelming point accumulation.
Oh, that was a big M-bar shot missed there by DeToX off the revive. I don't know if he's going to get that opportunity again, especially before it's time to rotate, because he's looking at the clock. As soon as it got towards 25, he's like, you know what? No point in even wasting his shots. Can't catch any players in rotation, so he's just going to save his ammo, get into position for next, balance out this score, get as much time as they can. Looking at the mini-map, Oxygen has already spread out. They've assessed at least one 2v2 fight. They're looking for some more numbers, and they may be able to even get these nades here towards mid-map. I do see a player over the top. Yeah, 2 in his hand. Nades are coming out. Oxygen on the offensive, but DeToX with the first blood, taking down Rocky. The nades don't connect, and now DeToX pressing forward, but Oxygen slowing down. They say, hey, we'll wait for the guy off the respawn.
I'm a little shocked that I didn't see DeToX go inside of the hill and try to poke to the right side. You can actually get a cheeky little angle into that stairwell where player number 4 is, Pushyz. You can get a very nice cheeky angle onto that player if he plays too close to that edge. See where he is right now? You could actually get a shot on his head. But I like what Pushyz has done. He continuously is trying to mark out where DeToX is on the map so that they can pressure the M-bar. Another headshot from DeToX. He doesn't let the second shot go with the M-bar, and it resets on him. As deadly as the M-bar is, that's what people have to remember. The M-bar is built to supercharge that kind of ion blast that comes out of it, and then you release the pressure by firing off the shot. You saw right there, DeToX held it for just too long. It overheats and it resets on him, and he ends up getting killed after the push. Here comes a 3-man chunk and push from Oxygen. 1 player already down in the Abolics. They get the quick revive off. Avexys almost got flanked on, but it looks like DeToX came in for the perfect help. Gruesome twosome here. 1 more back game from Pushyz. Could find another kill in the situation. Not going to be able to get it, though. They get a couple more kills. M-bar is respawned, and oh, by the way, Avexys have a free 6 shots to rotate toward the next.
All right, we'll see what Avexys can do with those 6 shots. That's the first kill, but I'm expecting many more out of him. Rise has already rotated towards gold. They got players set up. The spawn is they're gonna have a spawn control as well. Now, VQ knows that even in this moment, Colin, they need to at least get 1 player around the map to distract that player top couches, which is going to be currently DeToX. If you don't, that's just going to be free Lancer damage raining down on you and your squad as you're getting pinched. So Oxygen, I love how they're just taking their time to just assess their fights and assess the team fight, rather than just let it be fast-paced chaos at all times of heel to heel, fight to fight, and just players clutching up. Rocky gets killed towards the back hill. A push towards a quick wrap shot evens the score. But when it comes down to it, a 2v2 in a hill, I take that back, a 1v2 with Rocky left in it. A beautiful shot for him, buying time for reinforcements to get there, but the wrap shot doesn't connect, and this fight's going to continue.
Rocky might be the best player on the planet in those situations. He's so intelligent, and he plays back and plays defensively so well that it's hard for teams to really push into him and get a good fight going against him. And that's what you saw right there. Abolics is going to try to 2v1 Rushiez with the backside of the spawn here. Good shots in from DeToX across the window, and Rushiez is continuing to try to get out of that spot and play back and play defensively. Good little win in the middle of the map now by Rise. It'll be a 3v3 over here for 1 more attempted retake by the side of Oxygen. See Zoom trying to get that flank angle onto Avexys, but coming down the stairwell, that player hits up and marks out a couple of great shots. 2 kills in, 2 kills down. The third player actually boogied out for that next M-bar spawn. And of course, now you got to worry about that M-bar spawn is where the next hill is, and if Rise is already preset up there, a lot of Lancer damage and a defensive stand could be coming very shortly.
Here's the Lancer fire between both squads as Rise was able to slow down Oxygen's assault just here a bit. That shock grenade was a big help too as well. Allow Icy to pick up this M-bar, and the last 3 M-bars have went in favor of Rise, and now let's see what Icy can do with them. The flashes will connect, stuns him for just a bit, forces him to pull out his shotgun, but with the help of his teammate, they win that fight with ease. Big 1v1 for Rocky, protects the nades, and another wrap shot. Oh, missed opportunity right there for Pushyz. Avexys will be able to clean up both kills and maybe even find a third. He's happy with the 2 that he has, and this squad will continue to collect on time. At this moment, this is going to be probably the last attempt that Oxygen can make at this hill. They need to go quick because soon it's going to be scrap time and they will lose the rotation at Fountain. Avexys already had, actually that's going to be Rushiez down low. It's going to be one of them, but actually Avexys, he's already had the presence of mind to rotate down there and beat Oxygen to this rotation. But you're going to see that they cut back here.
Yeah, 3-man rotation out of Oxygen to get that kill onto Avexys. Icy, he's just waiting in the wings here. They're going to try to pick up this next shock. I like this play by Rise, setting up over the shock. DeToX has it in his hands now. I think DeToX's place, he's got to get it back right corner. So they push up further right. They can get shot by the M-bar, and if they go left, they can get shot by the M-bar. It gives you the only place to hide is behind that statue on the left. The shock might be just a hair short to really get a kill on anybody. Everybody that pushes in for Rise is shut down one after the next, and we've talked about it before, Blaze, and it really stands out to me when we get to watch professional players. The smallest, most minute mistakes will cause you absolute failure at the highest level in Gears. You already have such a small error space in this game because of how skill level it is, that when you get to this level, even one step wrong in the wrong direction, you're going to find yourself coming off a respawn much faster than you ever thought.
Here comes Rise, trying to push around the backside of spawn, but the defense here, Oxygen, got them an initial down to slow down his push a bit and get them all on the same page, but Rise know they can't waste any time. A full spread from Rocky to hop over. It doesn't down him, but it forces the player to have to make a difficult kill. Rushiez here towards the back end. He has help from Icy. Down doesn't come through just yet. Abolics finally falls, but the amount of time left on his heel, Rise knows that they have to rotate towards couches now. With those 2 kills coming through, Oxygen, they have a decent chance at slowing down Rise until help can come. But with the M-bar here as well, Oxygen, they need to hit their shots. They need to be careful. Rise is doing the same.
Good body shot there by Icy. I love that little spacing by him. Now Rocky is going to try to push back in with his flash. He's going to try to go for the shot over the top of the cover. Gets taken out of 2v1. That's a great angle right there at that window. They have a little nudge.
With the spread. I thought they went a little bit deeper to the right. It came up short and just a blunder there. If it went deeper, it was great to get the pressure off his teammates, but the splash damage is just too great there. And in the end, it's going to be a team kill, a double team kill, Colin.
That's what happens when you play Karn. You see how skinny that man's arms is? He ain't done a push-up his whole life.
Truly haven't, man. Oh, he needs to go at least go play some handbag. That underhand.
He got to do something, brother. He's got to do something.
Man, get a 1 pound weight in there. Hell. Here comes Rise on the push, trying to apply that pressure. But as they get here towards the couches, the damage is there in this 2v2 fight to contest. It's just going to be under 30 seconds left. Still plenty of time for both these squads, but Rise knows that they don't have to win a fight here towards the back end. As we're currently watching Oxygen defend against it, Rise brought themselves just enough time, distracting Pushyz and Abolics for the push to come in there towards screen right. So good job to them there. Rise will start to collect on that time. But both of these squads are aware that we're about to enter our second rotation of kills. Oxygen pressing forward to get the M-bar, but the team kills are just too much here in this first map.
I really don't want to, I don't want to make it a meme, but DeToX has thrown 2 utilities in the past 2 minutes, and both of them have come up short. Like, I don't want to say that it's a meme, but it's close enough to be a meme for me now that Karn needs to do a push-up.
Yeah, pretty much, man. DeToX, he's going to have to, we know he's a marksman, but he's just going to have to get some perfect tosses with those nades there. Eventually, the fight not won. Here comes Oxygen. 2 players taken down from Rise. Make it 3. It's up to Rushiez here in the corner. Now as he's pressed it up, I love how Rushiez, like, he's already identified that he can't sit back and wait for his teammates. It's still things that he can be doing on the map, like getting map control, putting himself in a position to help his teammates out better as they come off respawn. So that rotation there from Rushiez and the timing of it was damn near perfect, but let's see what it equates to. He distracts one player here towards the back, makes it a 3v3 fight on the hill. Rise tries to isolate the 1v1 on the back, but 2 separate 2v1s kind of being focused by both these squads, with Oxygen coming out victorious, taking out the player towards the back. Rose Garden, they were able to clean up the ones in the front. Rushiez winning his 1v1. No revive coming through from Avexys just yet. Double revive, triple revive. The damage is there. Oxygen too composed.
I really like that by Oxygen. That's very impressive, especially against a team like Rise. One of the things that's really starting to stand out to me is Rise are just not hitting the shots that they have in the past. There's a lot of times we're seeing these players roll up on somebody and just get obliterated, when in reality, we've seen them hit 6, 7, 8 pellet strides, and right now it seems like they're hitting 2, 3. They're barely getting touches on people, and it's one of those things where, you know as well as anybody, if you do not hit those shots, if you don't hit those bricks like you're used, it'll fluster you. It might make you press a little bit harder, and you'll end up losing some of these fights. Good second shot by Avexys, gets the down. Rushiez tries to rotate into the fight. He might go down. Up A out by Zoom, doesn't get the down on him. Fighting Zoom off of that close respawn. That's the whole reason for that. I have no problem with them fighting over that close respawn right there. No matter how many people they had to put in that fight, even if they had to leave the hill, you have to get that back.
100%. If not, your opponent has the best route and opportunity to be able to break into your hill by rotating around towards that spawn. But in the end, it's going to be Oxygen spawning far across on the other side of Statue here towards mid-map. Rise can easily defend all 3 of these lanes and be able to talk this one out, but Pushyz camps out the nades. Rushiez gets caught out. Here comes Oxygen with a man advantage and 2 power weapons. They need to be quick. Rushiez spawning behind on the opposite end. He won't be a factor anymore in this fight. Neither will DeToX. Icy takes 1, but in the end, Oxygen gets the kills in which they need. 15 seconds of scrap time. It's a dash over here towards gold.
I want to see what Pushyz does here. His job is to stay alive. I think they need to be able to get them to both sides of him to be able to get shots on and get him down quickly. I like the spread by both of these players. Rushiez his body shot. He picks up the meat shield. Good little defensive tactic there by him. And a second down comes through. Abolics stays up so long that he's trying to get maybe that negotiations over ribbon, trying to get that one-shot headshot on a meat shielded player, but I do not advise that Avexys pushes out by himself. You were being able to suffocate them as they came into the hill. You push out like that and you give them a chance to pick up a kill, not necessarily used to. Rocky waiting in the wings, could get called out here. DeToX almost gets pushed out from the middle by Pushyz. Good little job avoiding that first shot on the wiggle waggle. Goes in for the up A. Second big shot gets the down. Still alive in the hill. Rushiez will get revived. And we are down to 18 seconds. It's going to be up to 1 more chance. Rocky has to get close enough to try to get a neutralization or a decap for them to be able to get the rest of the players in the area. Down to 9 seconds. Rocky moving ever so slightly forward. Now he's going to go for the up A. Rolls in. He actually goes down. Second and third player in. Couple of downs coming through. The Lancer fire, too good, too great, too intense. Rise. They will be the cream of the crop and come to the top. They will win map number 1 with a fantastic set of defensive holds on the last 2 hills.
Yeah, man, that was a close series. This was a close map. This was a close map. Icy, 15,000 damage here. And you know what? I think that, when it comes down to it, just overall, no one really getting close to 20K here, Colin. On the board, we see 3 players with 15K apiece, but we've seen in the past, man, some players just really break past that 20K point and be that spear for their squad. But in the end, as you said, those last 2 hills, it was Rise, those defensive holds, able to make this comeback come through. But looking at the damage numbers, that tells me that both these teams were playing for they were just playing ahead, right? They were playing for that next hill, rotating early, making sure they can set up a slower gameplay than typically we'll see some squads, really take a lot of 2v2 fights, 2v3 fights, single players just trying to make plays, and the map kind of being chaos from hill to hill, fight to fight. Neither squad able to really kind of rotate early and get set up, but that wasn't the case here in this matchup, okay? It was a little bit slower, more methodical.
But I think that actually, to me, that says a lot about how much respect Oxygen does have for Rise. They didn't allow Rise to kind of play that high-speed, high-octane offense that they are used to and like to do on Control. And when they don't allow them to do that, Rise had to fall back on more Escalation-style retakes. It was more team fights. It was more 4v4s up and trying to win these big team fights. And both teams, the way that I scored it, I actually had it at 7-6. That's the difference in that map number 1, Blaze. 17 fights to 16 fights. So only 13 team fights in total when I've had games scored. I've had games scored 9-5, 9-12. I mean, I've had them where teams are just dominating, but we get a lot more because of the fact that teams are having to fly at those hills. This was played a lot more like chess, barely trying to press out to the middle, trying to maybe bait some pieces with your knights. You know how it is. Sometimes you get a bishop in the wrong spot and somebody gets overtaken by their queen. It's a great series so far, and I love the fact that it's really living up to its hype.
Yeah, it is definitely living up to their hype. These are two awesome Control teams that we have playing in the series, and they gave us a master class on really how to play Regency Control. So great job to both of them to lock in map number 1, but we need to move on over towards the round-based game modes, towards Execution and Escalation. Now, we talked about the combination of this Oxygen roster and kind of their highlights, and that being Rocky towards the bottom end with his Lancer and his support for Abolics as he enters mid-bridge, but also Pushy's aggression up top. And I won't even just put it on his aggression. He mixes it up every single round, and it's hard to really know what he's going to do. He's not consistent with his play style, but what he is consistent with is finding a play for his squad.
Very much so, and I think that's one of the things that can't be understated about most of these players. I think one of the things going into this Canals that we've seen a couple of teams do now is be able to mix it up and try to keep their opponents guessing. The thing for me is who's going to get a little over aggressive and try to take that mid-bridge first round, and who's going to be able to be willing to put themselves in a bad spot. We saw last night with Team Queso's matchup against Oxygen. Oxygen first round actually brought a third player to the front of mid-bridge to throw a tertiary flash grenade. They didn't throw one. They didn't throw two. They threw 3 out of their 4 utilities at the front stairwell, which kept Exclusive stunned for his entire life. I made the joke last night. He'd have had his hands over his eyes until 2023. He'd have just not been able to see a thing for a while. And that's how they got that win in that first round. I'll be curious to see if they do the same thing here where they bring the extra flash grenade into that front fight. I think it's going to be very interesting to see if Rise was paying attention to it as well, because they might have to have a counter for that.
Yeah, we'll see if Rise can we'll see if Rise does have a counter for it, because that's what, for me, the mid-bridge, that front stairs is the most important part on this map, making sure you can get control over it. But if you cannot, that's where the players who are playing up top in the connectors, they have to shine in those 1v1 positions to make the play, create an opening to force that extra flash grenade to have to get moved. And DeToX right up the stairs takes down Abolics, gets some good damage in on Rocky. Pistol out, trying to keep him weak. But as you see, Pushyz here towards the top side of the map, having a cutback. He distracts 2 players, but will it be enough? Enough to get his teammate a torque bow. But who's going to find him to kill? Rocky with the splash damage creates space, creates another opening, another quick charge to create some more space. Actually, gets the revive on his teammate. He's going to be okay for the reset. Oh no, Zoom went double down. That could be it.
Oh no, they got to get one more down here. They're going to have to try to get another shot onto Zoom here at the backside. I love the mark out. Beautiful frag grenade. Icy does not throw that one short. He gets it right into the right area, getting the double kill to finish off round number 1. I think the big differentiating spot in that first round for me is how Rise decided to play Lancers up toward the second half of that round. They didn't chase out kills. They didn't get baited into a torque fight. They went top bridge. They had more ability to have cover, and they forced him to either make perfect shots or get Lancer down.
And when you get yourself a man advantage and you change the pace from being on that offensive aggression to that passive on defense with the Lancers out, your opponent will give you kills. They will find ways to find kills themselves, but that creates an opening for you. In this round, we see Abolics get some revenge, but Rushiez finds one, Avexys finds another, and Abolics quickly taken out. How did
That's two great rounds by Rise, please. I mean, it's just the way that Rise is able to, they're again, when they're playing close enough together, when they're playing tight-knit enough, they are able to get some big shots, big double shot downs. It's one of the things that we harp on a lot as commentators, is we love when somebody's playing close enough to you and can hit those shotgun shots to give you the extra added advantage. They are doing that right now. They're playing within a certain yardage of one another that's giving them the ability to win these team fights.
Those long range L triggers hurt a lot, folks. Up on the bridge, who comes out to stun first? It's gonna be DeToX there, uses some movement to keep his spacing, but as he cuts back, he has multiple Oxygen members to deal with. Pushyz is gonna dodge his 1v1 with Avexys to regroup with the squad, and that will be an Oxygen round win. Even after DeToX getting first blood, in the end, Oxygen, the two players at the bottom, was able to follow up suit and clean up those kills.
Well, it was a trade first blood, really. It wasn't one of those situations where you got first blood and could reset the fight, try to come back out of it. That's what you want to have if you're playing execution. You want to be able to kind of trade out those first kills. You don't want to go down 4-3 for any length of time. You want it to be 3-3 as quick as humanly possible after that first kill. And if you got a chance to try to finish somebody off, you need to go for it. Rise is going for a 3-man back pillar or back connector push. Shock goes out to the front side of the bridge. They're gonna get this pick onto Icy. Icy has to take that front cover and hinge. They've got to win the 1v1 on the backside.
Discipline from Pushyz. Rise, they could not do a damn thing in that situation. The shock grenade, I think that was the shock grenade maybe being thrown there by Pushyz from the opposite end, or maybe a Rise shock that was kind of botched. But in the end, you know, you saw 3 players from Oxygen, Lancers out towards the front side of the bridge, Pushyz backed up deep in the connectors, and he just made sure he hurt anyone that he can see. And in the end, Rise just could not find a play.
Yeah, again, Pushyz on the back connector, winning that 1v1, stopped Rise from really having a chance at that mid-bridge. Icy has to push in because he knows he's about to get 3v1'd. If he doesn't push in, he has to try to take somebody to the grave with him. They needed to win that back connector fight early enough for them to be able to fight back against it. Abolics throws a pretty bad flash grenade. His flash doesn't even make it to the top side of the bridge, so he has to be stuck right here. He has to settle his tea kettle for just a moment. Now you see Rise trying to rotate around to get back into the faces of some of these players from Oxygen, but it actually becomes a stalemate. Nobody gets a chance to pick up the torque. Nobody makes the top mid-bridge.
Pushyz needs to do it. It's a Pushyz play. He gets on mid-bridge, he'll have a right hand against Avexys. He has the best opportunity, but also on the flip end, DeToX is going to make that play for Rise down low. I think Avexys may go, but I think this is a DeToX and Pushy opportunity to be the heroes for their squad. But we'll see what happens, because Avexys, he's going to just continue to play defense, and with him tucking in that corner, Pushyz needs to really find the patterns in his movement to get that sandbag. If he does that, I think that's the best opportunity where he can put his team up, because as soon as he gets on mid-bridge, he can allow his teammates to get there as well. But he does it, gets his right hand, gets the sandbag. Perfect so far. But with the back A's, now he's the aggressor in this fight. Avexys holds a beautiful angle right there to back Pushyz up, but that shot may give Pushyz some confidence. But so far, so good. Avexys tries to get the angle, but Pushyz wins the fight. Creates the opportunity. Now he moves up for the flank. Tries desperately looking for a kill. They can't find nothing as Oxygen backs up. Rushiez goes down, and now a 4v2 to give Oxygen their first lead here on Canals.
Oxygen has played very defensively in these past couple of rounds. The way they've played with each other, not around each other. They're not giving Rise those double shot downs with the shotguns they were able to take advantage of in rounds 1 and 2. Did you see right there the angle that we had through the observer cam where Icy's looked over to his left? 2 players from Oxygen just outside of shotgun range, really, even with the L trigger, but both lancering the 3rd player from Rise coming through the canal itself.
Yep.
And just beautiful teamwork out of Oxygen. And that's what they have to continue to do to be able to keep this round momentum going and try to tie it up 1-1.
All right, we'll see if they can get it done. Multiple flashes on the mid-bridge. DeToX with the first kill. But the shot was missed from Rocky. He saw the stutter step from Icy. It scared him back, but now they can't waste any more time. They're just going to have to disengage, getting the call out that is multiple up top. The revive needs to be here for the Torque. No one else able to get an angle, but it doesn't come through. Rushiez defense just a little bit too much with that Lancer. Tied up 3-3.
Going into this second half, who do you think has the better advantage, especially with the way that Oxygen, when they're able to kind of change it up and bait out the aggression of Rise, they've been winning rounds, but when they try to match head to head and they try to go straight up into somebody, they end up getting taken down. That's the 3 rounds that Oxygen has lost, is when they've tried to go for the headbutt fight.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say is that I think Abolics needs to understand that he doesn't need to be the hero right here, right? He just needs to make the perfect play call. Sometimes it's just him playing defense there and let him Pushyz create the opportunity. But Abolics, great read to get the nades. Multiple members of Rise up top, opening up their scrapbook in this round. But Pushyz just way too disciplined. A Torque bow was acquired as well. Rushiez finds a kill there towards the underpass. Abolics makes this a 3v3. But can anyone slow it down? It's just Oxygen finding their numbers in the water. Rocky with a 1v1. He's going to try to take now, but Rushiez makes it in time. The quick shot misses. Can't reload another. The kill comes through in Oxygen. 2v1 situation. I don't know if Rushiez can get out of this one. He needs a nice little blind fire that he cannot get. Oh, hold up.
Oh, I love that turnaround. If he'd have hit any pellets on that first shot right there, that up would have been a chunk or a down, and he'd have been able to continue forward and either go for a meat shield.
Yep.
Yeah, it would have been great to see right there if he could have gotten that first shot pellet out. Right now, Oxygen, did you see that yet again, where Oxygen is playing outside of the shotgun range? They're playing outside of Rise's comfort zone. If I am Oxygen, you just got to keep finding those angles. You got to keep putting Rise in those bad spots. You cannot get over aggressive, especially now, because you don't want it to be 4-4 with the best of 3 on the line going into the last part of this map.
2 flashes at the bottom. Abolics had to put his in his back pocket. Misses the first and missed his only opportunity DeToX was going to give him. But Pushyz makes another play as he presses the bridge right away. Rise, they will clean up the kills. They get there in the nick of time. We're all tied up 4-4. And now let's see. How is Oxygen gonna be able to deal with DeToX here on the mid? Now, kind of going back to one of my points that I had made beforehand, I'm leaning over there towards Abolics to. He just missed the play there, man. You know, sometimes that's just really what it knuckles down to. It's not you switching up your position, you know, going somewhere else. That can happen, but this map right here, you need to consistently have someone contesting this mid-bridge. And yeah, you're going to lose some of those fights, but you can't lose confidence. And Abolics is showing that he hasn't lost much. A beautiful spread on Avexys, but Avexys managed to just really outplay Pushyz there up top. He was so far away and pretty much allowed the flank to come through here towards the mid-bridge. And now Rise with a man advantage. Soon to be man advantage.
I don't want to say that I started to get worried, but when they had 3 players on mid-bridge with 1 guy back connector and they were kind of stalemating, they weren't just aggressively going after the 3v1 in the back connector.
Yeah.
I almost started screaming at my monitor.
Push!
I was like, I know y'all are smarter than this. I know y'all are smarter than this.
You know what? And I think that's where a great IGL comes into play, and someone who has that, you know, full vision of the map in their heads and where every single player is gonna be, because as the first kill comes through, that IGL knows what player died, know where the kill came through and how it came through. He instantly says the next play, and that brings speed to a squad. But this is a Rise team that needs not ever be indecisive again, because I think that's one of their greatest weaknesses, and I feel like they have been fixing that throughout this pro league. But we'll see. They're taking. They got the numbers here. They can take their time. They've got to use those shocks
perfectly, I think. Hold on, let's take a look. 2 shock grenades and frags. They've got to use the shocks to pinch those players, and you've got to try to herd them into a specific area. A little rollout. 12 seconds left. You can put a shock on the hill and 1 close to try to keep them out of it. Oh, what a torque! What a torque!
Oh, the revive is there. Nades. They dodge him. He goes for the 1v1. Oh, he don't dodge that nade. No, sorry, my bad, Icy. He didn't dodge anything. Icy too smart. He threw it deep. He said, you won't get to that hill. He says, you can go in that shock if you want, but you won't get to that hill. Quick well, not a quick round, but a round one there by Rise. But it got scary though. We have to admit that it got scary. And even though they won it, I mention it, and I'll break it down why I mentioned a little bit later on, because that's a whole nother conversation which we can have going into the next map, and as we kind of come back and we break this one after the break. But as we're focused up, DeToX switching his position, going to the high side. Surely Oxygen they seen this, right? They were able to assess this, but Abolics up on the mid-bridge so late. Oxygen just chose to go for the torque bow. They switched to play up, and with DeToX going on a world tour, he still gets the nade on mid-bridge. And I just personally think that's unacceptable from Oxygen, because Abolics has to say, hold up, nobody's here. Now, granted, the focus fire was there from both Lancers, but he still needs to at least get positioning up there.
Good little torque across the entire map. He actually stuck it on the backside of that bridge. It could have very well, but the way Rushiez was rolling out of the torque spot, they could have actually gotten a lot of splash damage onto him. But I think the important thing to note right here is the information gathering by Oxygen is pretty picture perfect. They have to know exactly where everybody is. I think the only player that might be lost in the sauce right now is Rushiez. But you see where Rushiez is playing behind this back pillar. His job is to make sure nobody can get up in that hill, because I believe it spawns in the bottom side of the canal, and all you're really playing for at this point is a chance to get into that hill to force Oxygen into that fight.
All right, who is going to make the first move here in this situation? We got about, I want to say, 30 seconds left in this round. This hill is going to be under mid-bridge. No way it's going to be here towards the top side, because Oxygen is way too far back to even defend against it. I think they're even too far back to defend against anything low side sandbags. So with it being here towards the center, Rocky has to hit some big torque bow shots, and his opponent really doesn't have the firepower to suppress him outside of the Lancer, but that's what Rocky's expecting. I love the shock to the right. Even if this player goes down, can't cap the hill. Multiple kills coming in from Rise. They just absolutely pick Oxygen apart.
Beautiful job there by Rise to win that 10th round. They actually force Oxygen in some pretty bad situations, and Oxygen, all they really have to fight back with is the torque. And that strategy, more often than not, has not been your best asset on Canals. Icy, I think he has to be the MVP. Multiple clutch plays at the end of the rounds to get them to a 2-0 lead over Oxygen. We're going to come back right after this with Escalation on Vasgar.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League. We are currently about to head into map number 3 on Vasgar. It's Rise versus Oxygen, and if you're just joining us, Rise is up with a hot 2-0 over Oxygen. They are up. The way that they're playing upset after that 3-0 that they took yesterday against E United, because this Rise team is definitely looking like a different breed. But Oxygen, Colin, they've been contesting Rise, but I feel like they have kind of really thrown these games away here towards the later portions of both these maps 1 and 2.
Really has been, and I think the thing that can't be understated about Rise is Rise's ability to see through what Oxygen is trying to do. Map number 1, Oxygen, they go for over rotations. They're trying to beat Rise to the next hills, and that's when Rise was coming back, because Rise was saying, that's fine, you can over rotate, we'll get the power weapons, we'll set up, we'll go for a full team fight, and we'll win that sucker and take the hill right back from you. In execution, Oxygen wants to play further back. They want to Lancer out, be a little bit defensively, so Rise takes the positions in the middle of the map to try to be able to pressure out those players from Oxygen. The rounds that Oxygen was able to win is when Rise did not call the bluff, when Rise did not get the right call out, and they put themselves out in the open a little bit too long instead of taking their positions and standing up defensively. We cannot underestimate how important that's going to be going into this Vasgar map, because Escalation is very much a nice little mix of control and execution. You get those per round restarts like execution, those initials are very important, but you get those opportunities for retakes just like control.
Yeah, nah, you definitely do. And, Escalation is a beautiful mix between the two of them, if you ask me. So I'm excited to see how both these squads are going to play it. And I know I was talking a little bit about speaking on one of the plays that Rise had made during that round. It was the round where the 3v2 kind of got scary for him, right? is, and you were saying that you were going to scream at your monitor because of the time in which it took them to really kind of assess that fight there towards the connector, and they end up winning around, and they won out. They took the map because, as you said, and I agree with that, Rise does a good job at being able to break down their opponent and read them and adjust to their plays. You know, Rise has been through a lot. These players have been through a lot. You got champions on this squad, but at the end of the day, the reason why Rise sometimes don't have more championships and this roster doesn't, this organization doesn't have a chip, is because in some situations they second guess themselves, okay? And rather, if they want to just make the smart play, or, you know, they're sometimes too overly aggressive, those few seconds, squads like E United and Vanquish, they capitalize on those few seconds. They says, whoop, you missed your opportunity. The next thing you know, the whole table's flipped out. So I just, you know, want to see Rise kind of clean that one up. And I feel like they have done better with that in this season. And I want to see these guys win a chip. I think they deserve it.
Deserving it and earning it, two completely different things, and that's a story for a different day. But I'll tell you right now, I love the way that Rise started off this round. The great defensive setup over at the Arrivals, the way that it's pretty much stalemated and stacked out. The 1v1 won by Rise over the C Hill, and they get the early pick there on the B Hill. If Rushiez gets the communication that there's only 2 players over here, they have a chance to pressure out the 2 players at the home hill. You see that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to try to over-rotate and take this fight very quickly and very aggressively. But Oxygen, playing with one another, gets the first down. Avexys misses the back A. He gets killed off, and that will give Oxygen the stalemated home hill win at A. B Hill's about to turn into a 2v1 if Rushiez doesn't take this fight sooner much rather than later. He gets taken down. That'll be the 2-1 hill cap in favor of Oxygen. This is just a back and forth battle, a very much a tug of war of who's going to make more mistakes. Right now in round number 1, Oxygen, they have a chance to come back and win this round because at this point, they've made less mistakes.
Yeah, they definitely have. And with 1 player currently defending the B Hill and 2 at A, you see player 4 shifting back and forth, looking for the numbers to stand mobile. Didn't know which side was going to need him, but both squads are set up for the 2v2 fight. Oxygen from Oxygen's POV, being a defensive squad with this setup in the winning position here. They get impressed here towards the stair side, but they're going to allow Rise to come up here just a bit. Oxygen, I'm loving their spacing to get some solid shots in, but Rise with the cross coming from mid-map. That's going to be a cross from Rushiez. He was able to help his teammates and get that down on stairs, and I love that shift from Rise to get that hill. They pretty much juked out those players at B.
Well, what they did was they bait and switch back and forth, and I love that they pulled Zoom into that fight. They made Zoom have to play that fight, and no points going into the factor of Oxygen right now. And as good as they played in the first half of this round, and I said how little mistakes they made, they have now made back-to-back mistakes. They've gotten over-aggressive in 2 situations, given up a couple of lives over to Rise. And I mean, this is a Rise round. It's impossible for them to lose it at this point because of how far into the points we are.
Yeah.
That was just a good job of Rise letting Oxygen beat themselves. That was nothing that Rise did overly well, and that was nothing that Rise took away from Oxygen. That was Oxygen handing it over.
Yeah, and you know, when I said winnable at the end, I had, you know, I was like, okay, 4v3 Oxygen, you got a 2v1 up here, 2v2 down low, but there's still not enough time ultimately in the end. So Oxygen, they had the opportunity there, but I don't like how they kind of set up for that 2v2 fight over at Luggage. You know, they allowed Rise to come up the stairs and they played a little bit towards the hill, which was great, but they also opened themselves up towards that sight line in the middle. And, you know, you can say, well, you know, that's their teammates' fault for not keeping that player distracted and not having that fight assessed, but they also didn't have to, you know, give up the positioning, which they already had. They could have just let Rise work for that one, get up those small stairs. In the end, you know, that could be us just nitpicking, but as you're going to see this current breakout, it's going to be Rise with a 3-man. They're going to run a 3-1, sending 3 players up top towards their opponent's home hill. They will have the man advantage here, but as we see from our mini map, Oxygen has already called out their numbers. They're going to be able to even them out over here at C. Multiple flashes going out. Rise able to put out enough damage to back Oxygen all the way up towards their spawn. But when it comes down to this hill, even with Oxygen being in that position, it's still going to be hard for Rise to get in there and decap because there's so much in the open. But with incendiaries, that's going to be able to help them a lot. Get those players off that back position, be able to cap it up safely.
Rocky is surveying the situation now. 2-1 hill advantage in their favor. Rise threatening maybe over to that C hill. Coming all the way across. I like what Pushyz has done. He didn't touch the A hill, so they have no idea he's coming on the flank. He didn't even get close to the A hill. I love that play by Pushyz. He knows that he can keep his numbers hidden. They don't have any idea he's coming on the 6 o'clock flank, and they can get the early Lancer damage onto both of those players and get those kills. A triple cap domination is going to be threatened here momentarily. And that's going to be based on the simple fact that they're going to have multiple players coming up those mid stairs and the arrival side. Here it comes. That's going to start ticking on through. I don't believe you can even make it there. Not in time, not enough. Oxygen, they answer back 1-1 with a triple cap domination.
Yeah, beautiful round there from Oxygen, but you stated it, Colin, running past the A hill, not giving up your position, putting yourself there for the flank. That was a great move from Pushyz, especially during the time in which they were able to stop that push from Rise, which was set up well with the incendiary grenade towards, I want to say, that furthest back cover right when you come out of spawn. It took the player off that spot, but they just wasn't able to quickly get in there with 3 members, you know, revive train, triple cap, back up, and reset. If they do that, the round plays out so much more differently, even if they only come out of it with just having 2 players as is. But that defensive hold from the start really trickled down into how the rest of that round played out. So good job to Oxygen, getting on the board, getting all tied up 1-1. But they need to be able to stop Rise over here towards this B hill, because I don't think they really had much success towards this bottom portion of the map.
Oxygen, I like the back tank positioning. They're going to stay out of the Lancer lanes of Rise momentarily. Rise, I think, has to be able to slow down Zoom. I like what Zoom is doing. Look at where Zoom is. He's looking for player 8 to play back, because if they push forward into the tank and into the B fight, he can easily get back into a position to Lancer down. And if they push 8 back, if they push Avexys back toward the C hill, he can Lancer across to get downs on him.
I like the setup right there when it comes down towards the angles. Oh, Pushyz almost goes down. What up? Second DeToX doesn't connect, but even that incendiary grenade didn't spread. He could have set that at cover, but the 3v3 fight breaks out down low. Oxygen getting multiple nades out. The stuns are there, but the L triggers come through from Rise. Kills traded out. Revives in for Oxygen, but Rise able to put out too much damage, especially with that DeToX in hand. You're going to see Avexys chase down his kill. That's going to be a trip cap domination for Rise.
Rise has a chance at it, but it's going to get reset by Rocky. Big shots onto Avexys and the kill. That will stop the triple cap domination. And the other important factor is that Oxygen has all 4 players off of respawn right now. They're going to cap up their home, and then you're going to see them make a push one side of the map or the other. I'm curious to see if they're going to go for a 3-man push over here to C. They know that the defenses are not set up over here just yet, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They might actually even put Rocky into this situation. You got to have Icy be able to Lancer across into the C hill right here. He's got to be able to put pressure on those players in the hill to get them damaged up to make those one-shots even easier. DeToX falls here early into this one. Now Pushyz, he's in a 2v1 situation. Big shot out by Icy with a long shot. Gonna bounce around, gonna look for that second headshot. Not gonna be able to find anything at this moment. And Abolics waiting for Rocky to push up into the area. There's the flash. Here comes the dash. Icy stunned up just a moment. He's actually gonna try to run over and help Rushiez. No help needed. The back roll shot comes out. He gets the kill. Sniper back in the hands of Icy. Hits one body shot. Hits the down on a Zoom. The longer Icy is here, the better it is for Rise. And he was there just long enough to be able to slow their roll going back over to C.
And we'll see if he brought his teammate enough time. DeToX already off the respawn. Threw both incendiary grenades already. Won't be able to connect. So this home hill of Rise will transfer on over towards Oxygen. But Rise is doing their best not to be able to give up B in this moment. So that's where they shift their numbers towards. They know that they can only really get their home hill back in this moment is if they're a team of 4, if they can reset it. But Rise finding themselves some different objectives. Gonna start wolf packing down low. They're gonna lose their teammate off the respawn once again, but with that happening, that gives up Oxygen all the intel that they need. They know where the remaining players are. They know how frantic they are on the map as well. But Rise, can they fight out the situation? Rocky taking out Icy. It's only a matter of time. It won't even come through to domination because Rise brought themselves enough time on the opposite end of the map, and they actually still make this one winnable. if they can get the capture, start getting some points, they have to quickly get down to B, but they don't got much time to work with.
They got to get to a decap now. They've got to get to A or B.
1v1 is going to be there.
Rocky just killed Dicey off a respawn.
Okay.
Damn, that is a heartbreaker for Rise. Back-to-back rounds lost. One by triple cap domination. The other one, you just give too many openings. You give too many sight lines over to Oxygen. They do a great job of rotating into those fights, finding the downs early, and getting kills. I love the fact that Oxygen, playing to their strength, doing exactly what they did in the execution, finding Lancer lanes, finding damage on extra players from Rise, and being able to get those shots on, and then clean up those kills subsequently. Rise, they're trying a little too hard to be a little too over-aggressive, I think, right now.
You know what? I was gonna say, I feel like these team fights are going longer than they're expecting them to. Okay, Oxygen is finding ways to kind of extend them. Or Rise will run in with 2-3 people. You know, they try to, you know, clean it up quick, get to the next one, start assessing their numbers. But the angles in which Oxygen takes sometimes just makes it difficult for Rise in that close quarter play style when they move in as a unit to obtain those objectives that they're looking for, rather if it's just positioning or the actual heals. Now, as we're going into this round, 3v3 down low, 1v1 up top broke out already. Oh yeah, they're close. Flash is out. Avexys press. Push. Woo. That hit me in the side.
It hit you in the side and it hurt you in the side too. We got a 4v3 on the map right now. Avexys is trying to challenge Abolics. Abolics ain't somebody to mess with when he's got that retro, which is why Avexys is going to keep his head down as long as humanly possible in that hill. He's going to have to go for the up A now, try to keep this triple cap domination hope alive. Pushyz in the C hill now. Great snub fire out from Avexys. Needs one more shot to go. Won't be able to get it. Rocky there for the help once again. This is what's worrying to me. Rise, it's like they're overstaying their welcome. You buy a hotel room for one night, they might give you the extended checkout period, but you sure as hell better be out of there by lunchtime. You know what I'm saying, baby?
Exactly. Yeah. Don't mess up the rest of your day just because it's there. Don't mean that you got to use all the time. Okay. Just because it's there don't mean you need to milk it all. You know, leave a little bit early. You know, stay on schedule, right? And on schedule, they may have missed their rotation for that quick cap domination to get the kills across map. They get 2 heals to their name, and honestly, Rise's setup right here is perfect. They got the sniper, they got their backs to the wall, they know where their opponent's spawning up at. They're waiting for one more to come off the respawn, but as far as them getting numbers, they're gonna be able to line up their fights 2v2. Big kill from DeToX, and that's all he can get. Abolics knows that he can't let DeToX off this positioning for free. He knew he took a big risk going down there, and he tried to make him pay for it, but instead, Abolics is going to just have to back up. Yikes. He backed up too far. He could have literally just stayed there in that box.
I mean, he backed up right into a headshot. My man said, I'm going to back on up. I'm going to back on. Oh, don't do it. Oh, thank God. I see didn't hit that one. I was just saying, that was going to be a warning shot. If he had blown his head off, the rest of the Oxygen would have been like, all right, I guess I better not go that way. We'll find somewhere else to go. Incendiaries from Avexys find 2 players from Oxygen. Now with 1 more to play inside of that hill, Pushyz going to get taken down. Abolics now has to push the fight at DeToX. And another... DeToX, baby, what is you doing? You about to triple cap dominate. Who's not telling him to play defensively in that situation? Who's not telling him, hey, we're threatening C. They got to come at us. You can stay at the B hill. Granted, they still went off of time, but Vanquish ain't going to give you that many mistakes to make in a single round. United is not going to give you that many mistakes in a round. You witnessed that last night when they 3-0'd you. You got to be able to solidify those kinds of communication errors and not let things like that happen to you late in rounds.
You know, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and just say that, you know, he just had full awareness of the situation he was in. So he had some fun, you know. He knew they was going to win. He knew nobody was going to make it to A. Even if the whole squad blew up, their Xboxes blew up, they still would have won that round. So in the end, Rise fighting their way back. 2-2, all tied up. And we're going to see a 3-1 ran from Oxygen, also ran from Rise as well. I like Rise's defense when they have this slight advantage of that D hill and that side of the map. When this 1v1 broke out the previous round, where both these squads had these respective sides 2 rounds ago, it was Pushyz who got back aid into the next from Avexys, but instead he's going to be aggressive here. He got a foot in this hill. forcing the Avexys out. But as we come here towards on screen, the flashes are thrown. Rocky having to defend against back tank. Whoa! What a defense that was with the 1-2 haymaker. Oh! Give him 3! Rocky!
Oh,
is that Balboa?
Hold up. No, that's Marciano. Balboa lost at some points. Rocky right now is fighting like Marciano. Man's undefeated at this point. That man taking fights whenever he damn well wishes.
Nah, those 3 kills right there. Those is probably the sickest 3 kills I've ever seen someone get to break ice on a round. I gotta be honest. I have probably only seen 1 double headshot in my life from even a shotty off the revive. Okay, usually you get 1 chunk and you get chunked, but he saved the play. He made the play. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, Colin, you take over.
Here we go with DeToX trying to get this retake to go a little bit steadier at the F hill. They get their home back. And a 4 full man push from Oxygen. DeToX is going to go down. They got to get that revive off very quickly, but they're in the area already. I love the fact that Oxygen trusted their Lancers. They pushed up heavy with an Asher's out so that they could try to clean up the downs if they were lucky enough to get one. Abolics coming in through the front side of the hill. He's going to try to get the 6 o'clock angle. They get the flank out. They get the kills. They will get the hills. Avexys has the 6 now. He has the F hill attempt. If he can get a couple of kills here, that can be huge for his squad. Only up by about 30 points in this situation. Zoom will have a 1v1 against the Avexys if he decides to try to take over that hill. I think you might see a little split push here. You might see a little double retake action come through. Shock picked up by Icy over there. Now Icy is going to have to use that to try to block him out from that back angle. Avexys here with that hill capture position. He's going to pressure up in the 1v1 over at the F hill. That's a big 1v1, won by Zoom. So Zoom can come back and help us to make it a 4v3 if he so wishes.
Pushyz can't take 1 to the grave, but Avexys gets multiple downs. He's able to take down DeToX. That L trigger over the top. The point blank revive is there, and it saves the team fight. Rocky makes a huge play. Zoom comes in, helps him defend the hill. This is Rise's home hill. They're continuing to stagger the deaths as they're going to rotate, get E captured. Rise, they're trying to group for one last team fight. Here it comes.
Gonna try to push back in. Triple gap domination being threatened. D hill getting decap momentarily, but all the kills going in favor of Oxygen, and they don't get back into the hill in time. Icy will not make it there. 3-2 Oxygen. They take a lead in the first round of the second half, and they are now well on their way to try to finish this off in style. This is the worrying point, Arise, for me. As good as you are in control, you are struggling right now in certain maps on execution. You did settle down on that Canals. Good for you. I'm happy you got a 2-0. But the fact that they can't just get this escalation game type to really be in their favor. It's not their map. It's not their mode. That is worrying going late into a major. I mean, if we get another best of 11, that marathon that you and Taylor had, you got to win more than one type of game mode, my man.
You do. You absolutely have to, okay? You got to be able to have that versatility across all 3 that we have in our league. Now, as we come into this round, Rise, can they get in? Can they get this snipe? They wasn't able to get in for that quick pick, but they are set up to play off of Oxygen's aggression. The first kill comes in. It's only a matter of time for Rise as they angle out the rest of the players down low. We see the downs and the kills acquired on the left, and a beautiful point bang from Avexys. That's a wipe. It's all up to Rocky.
Rocky will be.
I know he's been playing like crazy, but
no, not in a 3-shot down. 3 players were all in. I mean, that's just hard.
I tried to set it up for him, you know.
What is it? 3 times 8? That's 24 pellets coming your way, my man. That's 24 pellets. It's like Dave Chappelle said. First time you take a shot at a home invader, you got to hit him with that bird shot. All right, you got to let him know. You got to let him know. That's 24
after the
pellets,
bird
baby.
shot don't work, you got to give him that buck shot, okay? The bird shot is a warning.
Shout out to Coach Chappelle one time. I'm not lying.
Oh man, we gotta go to one of his shows one day. If you find it, bro, I will get us our tickets. Okay,
let's go. Let's
be there, yo. Me and you, that'd be a great ass night. Okay. All right, here we go. Head into the next round. We're all tied up 3-3. When it comes down to the nades on the map, we got shot grenades, retro lancers for both squads, and incendiary grenades at the top with the snipe down low. It's even Stevens, folks. You know, if we go to the distance over these next 2 rounds, I'm curious of what they will be using their placements for. But this round will tell us the tale of that tape. Who can come up with that lead? Who can get to mat point first? The Lancer fire from Rise will be able to get that first down mid-map. Advantage Rise. Can Oxygen find a kill? The pressure down low is here. The wrap shot missed from Icy. The kill cleaned up. But Zoom getting a lot of damage, but creates the opening for Abolics to get the double down. Beautiful job from Oxygen to work together to be able to break through that Rise defense on top of this D hill. That is so hard to do. But now in this moment, you will see Avexys win a big battle across map. That's what's keeping this round alive for Rise, but we'll see what their rebuttal is going to be after that team fight.
You can't tell me right now that Rocky wasn't a little thrown off at the start of that round because he faked in for the quick pick on the long shot and nobody shot him. Like if I was even trying to fake a quick pick on a long shot and I didn't get shot, I'd be worried there was a disconnect, that there was something happened. I was playing by myself at that point. Nobody else in the lobby.
Right. Oh, shit. Now Rise, they're going to be able to push through down low, get their home hill back. They know that they need to quickly decap this A hill, this F hill, while they have their numbers, and they're gonna do that. They may not be able to get the cap. Rushiez trying to play this wide angle against Pushyz. His only hope is those back A's, and he will connect with 3.
Yeah, I saw the
He's trying to get the wrap shot. The revive is there. Lancer fire on his left and right, playing one of the tightest corners ever. He is continuing to put out damage, and he cleans up the kill. DeToX is there. There's the second. Rise holding his position, but the 1v1 up top. Rocky, can you do it? Can you extend around? He cannot. Rise with the back A. That's from Avexys. Trip cap domination coming through. A desperate play in for Oxygen, but you see how Rise, they spread it out. They put the heal in the middle of a trinity. A trinity of Lancer fire. But that was a great kill from Zone.
That was a duo of Lancer fire. Rocky gets beat down with a snub and a pistol. Hit him with a little backhand. Oh, good first shot. Rushiez went for the melee. I like that. The melee cancels Rushiez' little attempt at a wall. He used the melee to cancel his wall bounce. And when he does that, he rolls back and then has a kind of a secondary shot that he can get off at least. But look at the point system right now. Look at the point accumulation. Down to 15 seconds. This is going to be very tough because you got to fight up the hill toward DeToX, and he has a Retro Lancer and a Shock Grenade. This should be over, bar a miracle from Pushyz on this side of the map where he can push straight through Rushiez and try to get up into the hill to get a decap. There's the first down. There's the second. Easy going, easy pickings. Yes, that is set up by all that pressure at the home hill, but it still gets a little sticky because they at least have the chance to take one more set of 2v2s to win the round. Rise now, though, on map point. I think the biggest thing that I can say from that last round, breaking it down analytically, Pushyz missed 5 shots. 4 shots. 4 or 5 shots. I might be missing one, but I think it was 5 out of 6 shots out of the sniper Pushyz missed.
Yeah, he's
not
gonna
even
have
body shots.
Yeah, and that's what he needs, right? He needs at least body shots there to put out that damage with that power weapon. If not, your team is pretty much just fighting a man down. Even though you're there in a fight, they're gonna feel you not putting out that damage because these kills aren't falling like they're expecting them to, with advantages in which you worked hard for in that round. But map 3 is kind of looking like maps 1 and 2, where you see a great effort from Oxygen here in the early and mid game, but they lose it in the late game as Rise starts to figure them out, dissect them, gather information round after round, and come out with better initials. You can almost slowly see them evolve if you go back and watch this broadcast. Evolve and adjust to what their opponent's throwing at them. But in this round, the attempt is going to fail by Rise, but Avexys makes up for it. He knows that as soon as his teammate gets first blooded on the opposite end, it's time for him to make a play. But Abolics smashing that energy, picks up a kill, gets on top of his opponent's home hill. But with Avexys winning his battles, Rise will have another chance at really kind of getting back and setting up another team fight.
I'm surprised Avexys needs to win this 1v1 right here against Pushyz because it gives him a chance to get the elevation spot to shoot those players at his home hill. And he can help out his teammate in the best possible position in that situation. But with Abolics having a sniper, this is 1. 6 more shots.
This is Abolics, though, we're talking about. He's good for 4.
There we go. That's the turnaround we need. This is that little hip fire shot trying to get that blindy across the map.
Ooh.
Oh!
I told you he's good for 4.
I mean, he's hit 2 out of 3.
All right. Watch. You got 3 shots left, folks, okay? That's how snipers think. Oh, that's body shots, though. That's
he hit 4.
He did?
Yeah,
okay, we're good.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. He's got 2 more.
Okay, so I would tell you this, okay? And you guys can call me crazy or not, but, you know, as a sniper, you know, I feel felt like I was really good with the long shot. So I said, if I got 8 shots, I'm gonna shoot them as fast as I possibly can, just because historically I hit a lot. Okay, I just got to be confident with it. Just shoot it off, aim it. You know, you'll eventually hit.
Sometimes shooters got to shoot, right? Hitters got to hit.
Shoot.
Hitters got to swing. Shooters got to shoot. You know how it is.
You got to have that confidence in yourself. You know your percentage. Do you think Steph think about it when he got to put it up?
Never.
He just puts it up.
He hadn't thought about it since Davidson. I'm telling you that right now. That man stopped thinking about it in college. He ain't even worried about it.
Once you hit so many shots, you stop thinking about it. It just becomes instinct, okay? You just got to be there to make the play. But as we're seeing Oxygen make the play, stopping that offensive push there from Rise as they tried to go from their spawn to the D hill. But here, can Oxygen get it done? They pretty much already got it done in this round, folks. We're going to a round 9. And that's off the back of some beautiful snipes from Abolics. A great hold on Rise's home hill, and just great teamwork from Oxygen as a whole.
I think Oxygen is really suffering, though, in early game situations. In the rounds that they've lost the initial, and then they just can't come back into it. They've had one good retake that almost won them round 1. They ended up losing it late game in that round, but the initials for Oxygen are almost too important at this point. This is one of those things where if I am Rise, you got to figure out how to take control of this initial. I like the fact that it's 3 incendiaries. They added another incend. It's not 2 anymore. They got 3 in this song.
Oh, I told you these last second places was going to get wild. So you got 3 nades on that side of the map. And, you know, I think that's a Avexys call out saying, hey, bro, I keep winning the fight. Just give me the extra nade. I'm good for 1. You give me I'm good for, he's good for at least 3 kills having 3 nades, all right? That is guaranteed. Even if he missed 1, I think he can get the 2. But he takes the fight in a way for him to possibly quick pick it. But it was a little bit of that shot grenade kind of like spread off the top, so he didn't make that decision. In the end, he's gonna try to put himself in a spot to put out some damage. And get close enough to possibly quick pick that. You see the fake in his movement. He's trying to bait his opponent out, but Pushy says, nah, bruh, I got discipline. I got a flash grenade too as well if you want to go for it. I think he's playing his position well, but Rise is putting a lot of faith in the Avexys because he's won his 1v1 so many times, but he may have extended himself too far as he took a wrong bounce. He should have kept going towards the inside, but he knew he would have gave up those incendiaries instead. That's a big 1v1 from Pushyz in round number 9 as he is on the flank. Oxygen, can they win the big fight down low? That's a full spread from Rocky.
Domination gets
his teammates gets the second.
Avexys is not going to make it. He's not going to make it.
They need another player. They got 2. They got it. We're going to a map 4.
We will see control in this one. Rise falls in round 9. Back-to-back perfect rounds from Oxygen, if you ask me. Avexys' confidence in the 1v1. Gotta love that confidence. But you continue to test your limits. Every now and again, you're gonna hit a brick wall. Right there in that final round was not the time for you to continue to test your limits. By the way, Rocky had 27 kills and 16 assists, Blaze. 16 of them junkers.
What was the deaths? It's probably single-digit deaths.
No, it was like 11. It was like 11.
Like 11? Okay, like okay. 11. I'll see it here in a second on the stat sheet, but man, yo, what a great performance there from Oxygen in a round number 9. Just even the map as a whole to take Rise down there. Early game, you know, back and forth between both these squads. I honestly thought Oxygen was gonna blow that map and let Rise run away with it. But Colin, tell me, in those last 2 rounds, what did you feel like Oxygen did differently that they really couldn't do we can even say the whole series to close it out?
To close it out, they stuck with the game plan that was working for them in all 3 maps, actually. When Oxygen is able to force Rise out of that close quarters combat fight, when they're not playing up into the chaos that Rise creates, they are dominating Rise. What you'll see even through these highlights, watch this highlight pack. Look at this. The flanks, the Lancer Fire, they space out their opponents. They're forcing players to make miracle plays to try to get wins. There's a dab, but look at this. See, the smokes are out. Rushiez gets to play behind the L cover, gets 1 kill, and then gets to settle up a second. 2 players trying to press toward back tank. They lose sight of what their single target focus is. Rise comes away with that win. If you give Rise the chaos, they will try to thrive in it. But when you play away from Rise, when you make them make smart decisions time and time again, you give yourself an increased chance to win the rounds. Not saying that Rise is dumb. I'm saying that you're making Rise play more standard. You're making them play a slower style gameplay. It's when Rise can be up in your face and create that chaos. It's the same thing that we see Vanquish do to a lot of teams. Vanquish plays so fast and so in your face that you have no choice but to play chaotically. You don't get to set up. You don't get to play defense. They get to tell you when it's time to play defense. Oxygen, they go back to the well time and time again. Space them out and make them make mistakes.
I agree with that. I think the spacing was the key to victory there, because you're not giving Rise those fights in which they want. And, you know, sometimes when Rise has to change the pace of the team fight, from them, you know, picking up a lot of kills, being really aggressive, going from hill to hill, to stopping on a whim and pulling out those lancers and not getting too over aggressive. Sometimes, you know, they don't make that decision as quickly as they need to. And other squads, they will be able to, you know, see that aggression, set up for it, and be able to counter. In the end, it was a great map to watch between both these teams. And big shout out to Pushyz though for that 1v1 in the end, because that's no matter what happened in previous 8 rounds, that's the play that wins the map. Okay, you know, we watched Avexys on stream win that fight the majority of the time, but when it mattered the most, Pushyz stayed close and he got it done there for the team. So it's not over with yet, folks. We gotta head on over towards district control. And Colin, you talked about it early on when we came in the series, that maps 2, 3, and 4, you was leaning over there towards the side of Oxygen. Now, after seeing 3 maps so far, how you feeling about this district control?
I actually love the way District will set up for Oxygen. I said 2, 3, and 4 could very well be their maps, and they could win this 3-1 if they win those 3 maps. The thing right now for Oxygen is they have to stay with the game plan. They have to stay certain of who they are in this matchup against Rise, because District can get a little crazy. You can get a little nuts if you want to get a little nuts on this map and throw the smokes and try to get loose. If I'm Oxygen, I'm using my defense. I'm setting up the way that I was for the first couple of maps. I make Rise play into me. And this is a map that you can do that on. Those bottom 2 hills, control the bottom side of the map, control the incendiaries, keep them off the stairwell, rack up the points. You go to the top hills. Now you get to do the exact opposite. Control the back side of the hills and make them play into you. But continue to use your Lancer Fire, continue to use your defensive setups, and let Rocky be a beast. If Rocky wants to take a fight right now, he gets to take a fight. Whether it's ill-advised or not, that man get to take whatever fight he want. No doubt about it. No bones, no buts, no ifs, no nuts. This man can go and pull up on anybody on the map right now.
All right, folks. Now, Rocky, we saw a great performance out of him in that last map. We'll see if we can kind of continue on over towards District. When it comes down towards our control stats, we did a little looking on that when we kicked off our series, and it was Rise so far throughout. And actually, we can actually tack on that first map. They're 10-2 when it comes down to control maps in which they played so far in the league. But on the flip end, Oxygen now currently sitting at 8-4. So, you know, they were 8-3 coming into the day, just, you know, 1 loss behind Rise. But in the end, you know, both these teams super talented when it comes down to the game mode. Another squad that's out there, I want to say Vanquish actually has the best win percentage record now currently with 9-1 when it comes down to their control stats. They're like the Trinity when it comes down towards our league as far as the 3 top teams out there.
One last thought before we go into District, Blaze, and I just want you to think about this, and everybody in chat should think about this. Both of these teams undefeated on Reactor doesn't get picked in this map cycle. Think about that going into that major. They're both undefeated in it. Neither of them was willing to take the gut shot against this opponent.
Lose their confidence, give up their weakness, right? Because you think about it like that, when it's 2 undefeated teams playing, I wouldn't even want to break that tiebreaker on stream. You gotta, you gotta break it on stream, but I wouldn't break it in Pro League is what I want to say, because then at that point, it's just like, all right, we know who the better squad is, and we know what was your weakness. Why did you lose the map? How did they beat you? And you kind of give that information up to the entire chat and all the other squads out there watching. But that doesn't get picked. Inspire doesn't get picked. They pick the ones that they've gotten the most reps on. So I like that decision out of both these squads, but Rise's decision off this initial They pick up multiple kills here at the front, but it's a 2v2 on a map, not for long. Beautiful back A from Abolics. Pushyz is gonna put out the damage. He gets some help from Abolics across to win the fight, but Rise came off the respawn quickly to down Pushyz and stop the boom pickup.
Good little Lancer from the middle of the map. Abolics has the ability to stop anybody from going to that quick pick. Rushiez is going to try to take over the info, and Rushiez actually got spawned behind. I'm not sure if they knew it from the call out of Avexys spawning behind the juice or not. But great pistol fire across the map. Zoom now still alive inside of the juice. You still have not had a pickup on the boom shot. At this point, it is still sitting there waiting in the wings for somebody to pick up. And it looks like Rise is more than content to hold on to these positions and give up the first hill over to Oxygen. We saw the same situation on Regency. Rise is going to set up here in the juice to the top side of the hill. They've got the instance. They've given up the boom shot over to the side of Oxygen. And Oxygen have to kind of push back against the tide, push back against the defensive Rise. Rocky with an active could kill that player in juice if he wishes.
Yeah, he could. He can get it over there. Rushiez defending against 2 in a spawn. Gets a kill, gets the support from his teammate. Rocky picks up a kill, but that's still going to be a man advantage here in favor of Rise. And with that boom shot taking out the player in juice, and well, more importantly, with Rushiez winning that battle back spawn, this stops any player from coming through juice until he's going to be distracted. On screen, DeToX having to defend against 2 players coming around from bandstand. He will have help from his teammate, and this is the best spot in which you can be in with that right hand. Now at the top end of the map, a battle won from Oxygen. DeToX with Incinerary. Cuts off the angle deep. He misses, but he doesn't miss the shot. His teammate goes down, can't save him. Here comes the pressure from Oxygen after winning that battle in a spawn. They will be able to collect on the remaining time at Arcade. The rotation at ATM, player 3 gets the spawn, but with 30 seconds on the hill, he actually turns back and says, you know what? I'm just going to lock that down. That's a smart play from Avexys. And so Oxygen, they get the rest of the scrap time, folks.
It blazed.
They're sitting pretty. What up?
Did you like right there, Rushiez trying to take the one-hit Aquita shot? Trying to get the one-hit Aquita before he goes for the re?
Oh, you know what? No, I feel like you take whatever shot you can get in the distance of the revive. Because the revive is negating that player's damage that he put out before. And you know that one of you guys are gonna get the kill guaranteed. Probably at this level, you know, usually that unless you're Rocky and you get double headshots on revive players.
I want to know what the hell DeToX was throwing that flash at. You see that thing? Puddle against the top of that spawn. Beautiful. Rocky didn't even have to pick up a new boom shot. That's how long that man's been alive.
He just gets the ammo. Just gets the ammo.
He's been alive. He loses that initial. Yeah, he's got 1 death, or 1 and 2. I was gonna say he died in the initial scrum at the back of the cinema, but since then he played the rest of this map pretty much picture perfect. We go to P3, and this is gonna be a good little retake for them. I think he needs to use that boom shot long. He has to go for the Hail Mary into the backside of the hill. Tries to take the fire out, gets the stun on Rushiez, but doesn't get the down. Good little playback from Icy. Icy just delaying his opponents outside of the front door. Pushy's trying to get back into that hill. Won't be able to do it. Pull out right here. Ooh. Lancers deep and get him killed. I was going to say, there's, again, even if it's the wrong play to a lot of people, when you've got a 2v1 or a 3v1, you got to take it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Choose your fight and die with the fight you chose.
But you have to choose it, right? And if your squad's really good, the entire team is just taking the fights you need to instinctively because you know what's going to be the perfect play in the moment. But as long as ride together, die together, take the L together, take the dub together, just do it together as a squad. Now, we're seeing great teamwork from both these units here that we're watching. Close game. Both squads waiting for this rotation down low. And it is going to be Rise set up first with some bandstand control. Icy misses the first, connects on the second, has some help. They need to be careful from any of these players coming from juice. They should be able to get that boom shot with ease, but Oxygen kind of presses Rise out of that bandstand just for a second. Rise will regain control. They didn't get that boom shot just yet. They're going to have to back down and get themselves ready for this next team fight.
This is a very awkward positioning. You see how they're spread left, right, and center? They need to be able to go over here and help DeToX. DeToX by himself right now could get tagged up before he gets back into the bandstand. and get taken down, and he does indeed get taken down. Now they're going to give up the front left side of the hill. Incendiary out, doesn't find anybody, but there's the Lancer for the down. Rocky throws the boom shot to no avail whatsoever, and now they got a double flank here onto him in the middle of the map. Second Incendiary by Rushiez, shuts down the player coming up the small stairs. Zoom tries to get to the hill, gets the down, gets the kill, but immediately cleaned up. Rushiez right there is the MVP, avoids the first boom, gets a kill with the Incendiary, and 2 different downs for his squad. Every kill was in lieu of Rushiez gameplay in that hill in that first retake attempt.
And then on a flip end, on the side of Oxygen, that's 2 boom shots missed by Rocky in these 2 crucial team fights. With both missed, Oxygen, they don't have another chance going into it, and they're giving up a lot of time. But luckily for Oxygen fans, neither squad has hit that 150 mark just yet. And there is still plenty of things that can happen in this map for the tables the ties to turn back in their favor. In the end, you're still gonna have to hit a few of those boom shots if you want it to happen. Now, Rise with another early setup on a hill. So far, so good over the last 3. They're forcing Oxygen to have to play in and break this. Rise, their communication and their foresight just better. Well, I won't say there's better than Oxygen, but it's really good here in this moment because the fights in which they're taking and how they're setting up around these fights for Oxygen has been winning them a lot of these engagements. But even with them pushing out for the 2v2, he gets there for the revive. What a clutch kill coming from DeToX, but the kill was not cleaned up on Zoom. Here comes the help from backspawn on Rushiez, and once the dust have settled, Rise still has a foot in Pergola.
I hate to say this, Blaze, but again, I'm beating a dead horse at this point. Every time Oxygen presses into the chaos of Rise right there had multiple shotgun fights. They were able to win them. They were able to continually find a pick around the map. Icy finds another pick right there. But Oxygen has a little retake. They're going to get the last 25 to 30 seconds on this hill right now.
Boom,
and
another one.
Because they back out, they play for Lancer Fire. Give up the down right now. You got to let him, you just got to sacrifice him to the gods. You ain't getting that man back up right now. He's got to come back in the next hill. Set up over this mid lane hill, and I think what they got to be worried about is this next bottom hill. Boom shot in the hands of Oxygen. They're gonna be able to clean you up, whether you're sitting on that ledge or behind those barrel or those boxes right there. You're gonna be able to get killed off, and he actually uses it before the hill even spawns. Oh, I like this from Rocky. I like the aggression right here.
Yeah, that's a good down from him, but that's one of those kills that you just, they're gonna end up cleaning up when they come through spawn. But I was feeling like Oxygen over these last few hills, they're getting antsy. They're too aggressive because impatient, upset that they lost certain team fights, but it seems like they've gotten focused, and now for the first time in a while, they're forcing Rise to have to play into their defense. I love the down here towards the back spawn, but Avexys got a big kill. With the information that Zoom has on all 3 of these members down the stairs in that wolf pack, Oxygen pulls out the Lancers, and now they get their defense set up really, really well. But that respawn from Avexys put him in a perfect position to stop his teammate from going down. He protects the wolf pack. But can Rise get some good time off this hill? The team fight isn't won from him just yet. Rocky picks up 3 with a defense. What the hell has he been eating, Colin? Ever since we gave him player of the week, he don't know how to act.
Can somebody help me understand how Rocky is literally the best?
He don't know how to act.
I mean, like, what is he at? Where's Rocky? He's only got 7 kills and 6 kills and 7 deaths, but he got 12 assists. But those 6 kills, he just picked up 3 of them right there.
Is that what you don't understand?
I don't.
Yeah, hey, he picks them up when it matters. When it comes down to big time players, they know when to change up their play style. They know when they got to step it up in the moment, in the map, not next map, not next series, not next season, but right now in the moment.
Another
they know
boom.
when they got to turn up for their teammate. That's 4 straight booms here, picked up on the side of Oxygen. They're about to have, they already got their lead change off the Hotel Hill. With Zoom going down, the boom is cleaned up. Avexys is taken out. The boom won't get used. And now, but Oxygen still a 3v2. They'll be able to get these kills. Nice Incendiary from Rocky.
Oh, they got the boom right back.
Okay, it was on the ground.
Damn. Just use it.
Damn.
Just use it. Just use it.
Whoa, it's gone, right?
Now.
It's gone. That was a play. That was a good play from Icy.
You and your teammates just gave up 2 kills to Icy and the boom shot because you refused to use it on one player. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't have used it either, though. He should have used. They should have got that kill. Icy just turned up on him. That's all that happened.
My ego ain't never gonna be that big, Blaze. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you red, I'm throwing that boom shot. You better hope to God you got some bulletproof and some rocket-proof vests on, because I'm throwing a rocket at you if I see you up that close to my teammate.
Yeah, and I would have died with all 3 of them. Like, how the hell did we let this one happen? Okay, well, with the 2 in the end, big plays from Icy. The rest of that time in the hill went on over towards the side of Rise. So they get the lead changed back in their favor. But with the early rotations here from Oxygen, they will be here towards the backside of the spawn.
Oh my God.
They're going to clear out Bandstand as well. Now they got their setup.
I like what Rise was trying to do. They were trying to rotate in and get those incendiary grenades to push back into this hill. But now they're spread. Let's take a look real quick, Ribs. Can you show us how long is left on this incense? Oh, never mind. They're up right now. They just picked him up. So DeToX has got him now. The player in the juice has to get challenged so you don't get the angle coming down low. They're going to challenge to the top side of this map right now.
Ooh. The Rise has to. Well, yeah, Rise has to. They need to at least keep that player distracted. He doesn't have the challenge. He just needs to make it a 3v3 fight. It makes this low fight that much more manageable. But that's the only nade that needed to be thrown. The one that hit the top of the cover, the spread is bad on it. But as long as they hit another good spread there, Rise can continue to collect off time at Arcade. Here towards the mid-map, a battle for the next boom shot. Rushiez goes down. The revive there was in the middle. Rocky and Zoom has multiple Rise members in a crossfire, but 2 will be able to get away. For now, 20 seconds left in this hill. Rise just got the lead back in their favor. Now we'll see if they can continue to collect.
They get another boom. Rocky wins another big 1v1 to help challenge the hill. They get this up next boom. Rocky crawls into the hill to get that last neutralization. Rushiez throws out that other incendiary right there. You saw it in the background on the ground. Pushyz will win that fight. Snub in hand. Pushyz might have a shot here to get at least one of these players down. But this, my God, what great accuracy right there by him. Good little sneak kill by Icy. Good little secondary help by Icy. 2 down and dead. 1 more could be the turning point in this hill. Oxygen without the boom right now. They have to play full man defense and they spawn out. Rise has to pressure this here and now. They've got to go for it. They've got to full send these last 2 players. Another down on a Pushyz comes through. Rocky's going to throw this flash. He might push up here. No dash out of Rocky. He's just going to be stuck in this corner waiting for teammate help. He goes down. Nobody's going to be able to make it to him. This will be 270 or so before they push back into this hill. All right, they are going to get up to 270 before there's even another chance for a retake. Incendiary's up in 3. Boom in another minute.
Great push from Rise to be able to wrap there towards the back spawn and move in as a unit to get those kills. Oxygen has had the last 5 boom shots and they may even get the 6, but that I don't know if that's going to even keep the lead in their favor. They need to be able to connect with it. These incendiaries have to go huge. He can't block off the doorway. Needs to take out some key locations. That's one. But he did take out 1 player close by. Oxygen moves in with about 16 seconds left on the hill. They set themselves up for that 6th boom shot in a row that I talked about before. But the question is that can they use that to get control over Bandstand? Luckily for them, they know that the incendiary grenades won't be spawning up, so they don't have to worry about it now in the moment. But they have to get in position to be able to contest hill time and buy themselves an opportunity to get that power weapon or assess their numbers now. Rocky moves in a melee. He eats a shot. The revive is there to negate the damage. Rocky gets another kill. But now in the hill, Icy to defend the boom shot. He feels the pressure. But can he push back Oxygen? His teammates spawning behind him, and that gets him a boom shot, but a kill on Icy because he's so weak. Nothing DeToX can do about it in the moment. The splash damage even went through DeToX to get to Icy. In the end, Rise surviving here towards the middle, but they're pinched. They're trapped. They're getting pressure. They're getting suffocated here, and with enough time for Oxygen to win, we're coming down to that last team fight.
There's going to be 1 more shot in this map. Whether you win, lose, or draw depends on the next retake by Rise.
This is the last fight. Here we go.
Flank out from Rushiez. He's going to throw that first flash to the bottom middle. Here comes the rollout by Avexys. Rocky has to get one of these kills. Big first shot down. There's the chunk. There's the melee. He's got the help over the top. DeToX and Icy last alive. Cleaned up. Taken down. Oxygen 300 to 292. They have officially tied this bad boy up, and the Vibes Master himself, Blaze, picked Oxygen coming into this matchup and said, something special about this squad. Well, is the specialty of this squad gonna be checkout execution? We are gonna be able to find out right after this, and I'm at 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League. We are about to head into a map number 5 against Oxygen and Rise. And if you had joined us before the last break, you thought Rise was gonna take this one in 3. But after this last one, we don't know who the hell gonna take it in 5, because Oxygen over these last 2 maps have fought back. They have been able to change the pace of their game since the back end of that Vasgar. What I mean by change the pace into their game, they're managing to slow it down, take the fights in which they want, not playing to Rise's hand every single engagement. Colin, you've had a chance to watch both of these teams streak in the early portions of the series, in the back portion. But as we head here into Clock Tower, man, how you feeling about, how you feeling about who can take it?
Was it Clock Tower or checkout? I thought it was checkout.
It's checkout. It's checkout. You're right. You're right.
I think it's going to benefit early on Rise, because I think Rise is going to try to make that back checkout lane fight very chaotic. Oxygen needs to find a way to stop Rise from their favorite play, which is throw the smokes, get the insins, and then damage you out. Like, find the angles, herd you around the backside of the map, and get you down and out. And I think that's going to be the tough test for them. Oxygen, I don't think, has the capability to play into that fight necessarily, because really, without Rocky playing as well as he's played, the team fights that Oxygen has been able to win have not very much gone their way. I mean, if Rocky's not going absolutely nutty buddy in some of these fights, getting a double kill, getting a double down, whatever it might be, getting the assist that he's getting, you don't win that 300 to 292. You lose that probably 300 to 210, 300 to 190, whatever it was that Oxygen had before they started to mount their comeback on the back of Rocky getting that double kill at the bottom left hill. Then they have a perfect control over the top bandstand hill, whatever it might have been. Going into checkout, you gotta help Rocky in that mid lane fight, because you know he's gonna be the tip of the spear. There ain't nobody else. Like, they would be legitimately insane if they're not putting Rocky in that fight because of the way that he's hitting shots right now. Find Lancer damage onto whoever he's going to try to mark it. Oh, and do not let Rise get away with those incendiaries for free.
Yeah, that's going to be the big play right there. Just contesting a platform, making sure that you always got a Lancer there at the hop over. Even if you got one player dedicated just to pre-fire it, that's a good habit to have in the first 10 seconds of the game, just to get the hit markers and get that initial damage when that player tries to pick it up and escape. Pre-firing is so key because, players are predictable. It's Gears, right? Off the initial, it's only so many perfect plays and the certain amount of time it takes you to get there. But we even see Icy almost barely made it out, right? He took a lot of that pre-fire damage that Oxygen threw at him. But beautiful incendiary. I thought it should have connected there, but Rocky makes it out. DeToX picks up multiple kills here towards the center. Rushiez tries to get to the spawn, and I love Rushiez positioning to run to the spawn to make the play that much easier on his squad, to give him that intel.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Blaze.
Yes.
If I'm Pushyz right now, I'm just flat out pushed. I'm pushed. I'm pissed that we chased Rushiez all the way back to his. I'm pressed. I'm depressed. I'm pressed. I'm pushed. I'm tilted. I'm like, hold up. We just let this man take us back to spawn. Not our spawn. He took us back to his spawn. He was like, I got something to show you over here. Don't worry about the team fight on the opposite side of the map. Come on over here. I got something to show you.
I will also tell you, those are the most unfulfilling kills, because sometimes you don't recognize in the moment that you ran so far out of position to get a kill until you actually get it and turn around and be like, man, how the hell are we supposed to win this one now? All right. But that's just Rushiez being Rushiez, and that's one thing that I just love about is him as a player and in his universal play style of just being a nuisance, man, staying alive, forcing his opponent to have to take difficult fights and force him to have to really keep an eye on him at all times. Rise with their pre-fire is able to get Pushyz down through the smokes, and now he got on top platform and he was able to hop down, but nobody picked up the incendiary nades. He kind of backed out of that play with the flashes and the damage there. Zoom wins this 1v1. He gets the nades, but did he toss one? I don't think he tossed one. He held both, which I'm okay with the play, but there's the first one. The second one doesn't go back out wide. The snipes picked up. No body shots. Zoom misses both frags.
4v3 still. The incendiaries don't come through. That's one of those rounds that if I'm Rise, if you lose this map right here, you're kicking yourself for losing this map. You're losing that round right there because of one of the things that I think you got to be able to convert those downs. They had 3 different downs on 3 separate occasions, and you don't come away with a victory in that round. You don't even come away with the kills. They get a full, straight, perfect round on you. And
the incendiaries don't connect either. You know, as soon as they picked him up, I forgot his first initial rotation, but even if he would have kept, well, actually, he couldn't sit on the platform because as soon as he picked up incendiaries, nades got picked up at the same time. So that was in the back of Rise's mind, and they can't call out that nade rotation. They don't know if he's backing up or where he's coming. So they had all that pressure to move forward, but they just couldn't quickly get on the same page to get the kills in which they needed. A quick pick from Pushyz. Cleanup from Icy, but a recovery from Rocky. Those nades are not in play anymore. Zoom get impressed by 2, a down from afar. With only by Oxygen enough time to really take these fights on the platform, which they won't be able to have time to. Rise, a fantastic round. Good job getting the first kill on plat, but then also backing up to recover from that as well.
You know, this is going to sound really stupid, but round number 2, Rise tried to play Oxygen's game style where they backed up and they lancered out and tried to go for downs, and they end up losing because Oxygen they get away with the sniper, or they get away with the, get away from the sniper and the incendiaries, reset up, and then perfectly retake with Lancer fire, downs, damage, and cleanups. 2 rounds that Rise have won. Every time Oxygen tries to set somebody up to Lancer, tries to get somebody into a better position, they are getting picked off in the chaos. They are creating quick decisions to have to be made by the side of Oxygen. And just like that, there's the flash. DeToX comes straight in. DeToX misses a shot and a melee, but because nobody has the quick enough reaction speed to come back into the fight to help him, nobody can do anything about it. Rocky and Zoom are in a 3v2 now. Avexys hits the headshot on him. Zoom lasts alive for his team. The chaos ensues. And it looks like Oxygen is about to lose their 3rd round. Rise is up 3-1 here going into the last round, or the next to last round of the first half of this map.
Yeah, good job to Rise there. You know, picking up that first blood there towards the inside on secondary, being able to pick up that snipe and let Avexys go to work right there. Oxygen, incendiary grenades play on the platform, and that inside pressure ain't really working out for them. They need to figure out how to really kind of take down DeToX out of this middle, or not DeToX. We'll say take down Icy out of this secondary, because he's the one that's been really making some plays here for him. But as you're gonna see, he moves in for the kill, gets the chunk, pushes around towards the back alley, and now he's just creating chaos here on the side of Oxygen. They're forced to fight their way out of this one. But Rocky, knowing that he has to push forward, his teammates go down behind them both. Neither can get revived. And I love the play coming out from Icy just to get behind enemy lines.
2 rounds away from a pretty dominant win in map number 5 for Rise, and it looks like they're trying to slow this down. They're trying their hardest to force Oxygen to play into their play style, and it has worked 4 out of the 5 rounds that they've played, and that's a worrying thing. Oxygen doesn't have the ability to spread this round out, spread this map out enough for them to be able to come back in these rounds.
Smokes here towards the back lane. Avexys only has a few marks to work with. He's going to walk out wide to see if he can find anything here. Not much. 1v1 is a stalemate across map. The action's happening inside. Platform is looking kind of spicy here on the, if you're Oxygen, right? Because you're like, hold up, this guy is tucked in a cubby. The play may be made here. On the flip in for Rise, DeToX, he's ready to spring in action if he needs to, and that's a quick pickup. It was almost like Rise faked the pickup out wide to give DeToX the opportunity to pick up the incendiaries inside. Misses the first, but he still gets to hold on to 1. Lining up with Abolics. Not gonna connect.
It's buying them the real estate though. You see how they've got the 90 degree of those 3 players now? They can't sit where they were sitting because of the fact they took the 90 degree. They get the sniper in the hands of Avexys. Long shot now. Mounted up, body shot there on the Rocky. Gets the down. Oh, that's beautiful. The body shot helps the down on Rocky. Turns and burns the headshot on Abolics. Now it's going to be up to just Pushyz to win a 4v1 to not go down 5-1.
Yeah, and Oxygen, they just can't do anything about what Rise is throwing at them. And Rise is throwing a lot at them. That's the issue. Rise is decisive off the initial, even off that stalemate right there. We can break down that entire round from the fake push out wide to get DeToX and incendiary grenades, using both nades to get the real estate to get the snipe, using a snipe to get back the platform and push back their opponent. And each time Oxygen is just trying to be reactive over and over, but their reactions is too slow, and they're not the right plays in which they need to make in a moment. Instead of playing so passive with their backs against the wall, maybe they will be the initiators. Maybe they will die on their own terms as Pushyz hits the plat, gets first blood, gets two. Talk about dying on your own terms. Oxygen, with a newfound confidence coming in round number 7, they pick up 3 kills right away and forces their opponent to take his own life because they're just so good, but it may be too little too late.
I ain't dying to you. That's what Rushiez said right there. He ain't dying to you. 5-2
at all. I would have did the same thing if I was Rushiez too, to be honest. Like, let's get to the next round. We about to beat y'all anyway. Right? So,
I mean, this is the situation. The situation that Oxygen is in is 4 straight perfect rounds. They can't give up any situation over to Rise. They're giving up the frag grenades early in this to have the extra man into this fight. DeToX slips through the smoke. Rushiez tries to jump up onto that platform.
Oh, zoom. The incendiary.
2v3.
Rise makes this
Avexys
winnable.
hit that shot from forever away to get
way.
it down. He hit like 3 pellets to get that down.
He hit 2. But he stays alive. The fact that we're in a 2v2 right
now. The hill
now.
is behind you. Thank you. I was like, the hill's behind you. Go to the other side.
They get out of space. This is bad. They have to create. And Avexys, he's been hitting with the scope, but DeToX is to his right. Oh no. This is, yeah. It's only a matter of time. Rise is like, oh, they got him. They close out the series. Outplayed in the end.
Oh, the hopscotch. The hopscotch. Oh, hit him with it, baby.
With the
where's
1-2 step. Maps 1, 2, and 5.
Somebody
Rise
hit Taylor
come out victorious. 6-2 in the end. They get it done. Make it rain for them because Rise, they honestly, man, they played that one flawless. They had the perfect strat going into checkout, and they says, you know what? Let's close this one out, Colin. They did just that. Congrats to Rise. Oxygen, they didn't come to compete in that map 5.
Indeed, congrats to Rise in that map number 5. Again, I can't tell you enough. You heard me start yelling at my monitor. The hill is behind you at Electronic.
Yeah.
Get over there because it creates 3 different successful things for you. If you make it to the Electronics first, you are set up around the overtime hill for a chance to cap it. Once you rotate over there, it's a straight 2v2. Now they have to come straight down some vertical lanes at you, and you've been hitting shots with Sniper. And third and final, there's not much cover between you and them and those hallways. You can hit either it's body shot snipers or your teammate can have a snub out and you only have to hit a couple of pellets when they finally get close enough to you. They achieved 3 different goals and 3 different advantages with just a rotation toward the hill. All that map long, Rise creates chaos. Oxygen cannot make a quick enough decision on their feet to overcome that chaos. And then finally in the last round, Rise makes the smart decision. They make the smart play. They rotate back to the hill, and they definitively win that 6-2. I really believe that Rise has had a leg up on checkout since taking a pretty debilitating defeat to Fire and Ice, because I think Fire and Ice showed them how you kind of have to play this map in the smoke, in the chaos, and one step faster than your opponent.
Yeah, you do. You can be indecisive, all right, at this level of gameplay. And Rise, they made their decisions at the start of each round. They went in there with a nice offensive play. You know, they was able to execute. If it didn't work out, they had steps, 2, 3, and 4 already laid out for them. They just had this one thought out. In the end, Oxygen just playing way too reactionary there to be able to, get the best of Rise, and they played to Rise's pace, and that was the same reason in which they lost maps 1 and 2 as well.